So now you are clear what is pollution. Now how this pollution is caused? Any substance, the addition of which causes this pollution, it may be gaseous, it may be solids, it may be liquid. So addition of any substance, it may be addition of any substance, may be solid, may be liquid or gas to this atmosphere, that means to air, water and soil, is known as pollutant. That means the substance which causes pollution is known as pollutant. Pollutant. Now we will discuss the different types of pollutants. Now the different types of pollutants are, if we classify the pollutants, one basis of the classification is persistence. Persistence. That means in the what form they persist. In what form they persist. So according to this persistence, there are two types. One is the primary pollutant. One is primary pollutant, and the second is secondary pollutant. Secondary pollutant. So the primary pollutant means it is present in the atmosphere in the same form that it is released. It is present in the same form as it is released. So what are the common examples? Common examples you can take DDT. That means if you apply DDT to the atmosphere, it will present in the same form without any change. Then you can take that of the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, then you can take fly ash, then plastics. They remain as such without any change. So these are known as the primary pollutants. And the primary pollutants, they may be present either in the reduced form or in oxidizing form. They may be there. Now what are then secondary pollutants? Secondary pollutants are usually formed due to interaction between the primary pollutants. So these are formed by interaction between primary pollutants. And one of the best example in this case is the different oxides of nitrogen. The different oxides of nitrogen, they combine with the different hydrocarbons, and both of them are released from the automobiles. So these two are primary pollutants released from the automobiles, and they interact with each other in the presence of sunlight to give rise to PAN and ozone, and both of them are secondary pollutants and very dangerous. So this PAN is peroxyacyl nitrate. So both of these are secondary pollutants formed as a result of the oxides of nitrogen with hydrocarbons, which are released from the automobiles, and they react in presence of sunlight. So these are the secondary pollutants, and the secondary pollutants are usually, they are more toxic. They are more toxic than primary pollutants, and they have increased toxicity. They have increased toxicity by reaction among pollutants. So when the different secondary metabolites they react, their toxicity increases. This is known as synergism. This is known as synergism. And these secondary metabolites are almost always in the oxidizing form. So now you have got some idea what are the primary pollutants and what are the secondary pollutants, and you can get a question from this also. Now what are the basic difference between the primary pollutants and secondary pollutants? Primary pollutants are present in the atmosphere in the form they are released, but the secondary metabolites they are formed due to interaction between different primary pollutants, number one. Number two, the primary pollutants are less toxic, but these are more toxic. Third point, these are usually present in the reduced form or in oxidizing form, but the secondary metabolites are always present in the oxidizing form. The fourth point, the primary pollutants they don't exhibit synergism, but the secondary pollutants they exhibit synergy. That means their toxicity increases due to different. So these are the major differences between primary and secondary metabolites, which is important from examination point of view. Now let us discuss another aspect. So another is depending upon the second point, depend upon this is persistence and this is the existence. Now depending upon their existence, these are also again of two types. There may be quantitative pollutant, or there may be qualitative pollutant. So what is a quantitative pollutant? That means there are certain substances which are present in the atmosphere, but they are present in to such an extent that they are not toxic, they are not pollutants. But if their concentration in the atmosphere will be increased, then they will act as pollutant. And one of the best example in this case is that of the carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is present in 360 ppm, parts per million. And at this concentration, all the organisms are functioning, the plants they carry out photosynthesis, everything is normal. But if this carbon dioxide concentration will be increased up to 500, 600, 700, what will happen? That will lead to global warming. So at that time, it becomes a pollutant. Otherwise, that means when the concentration is, when the quantity is increasing, then it is acting as pollutant. Similarly, if you take the case of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, it is present in the atmosphere as 100 ppb. You see, this is ppm, parts per million, but this is parts per billion. That means it is present only in traces. That means only 100 molecules of carbon monoxide in 1 billion of air molecules. It is so rare. And it's not harmful. But if its concentration will increase 10 ppm, 10 parts per million, then it will cause a lot of problem, because it will combine with the hemoglobin to form the carbonic hemoglobin, and the affinity of hemoglobin to oxygen will decrease, and it will lead to a lot of problems, including headache, nausea, and other things. That means when the concentration is increased, then only it is acting as a pollutant. Then the third type. The second type is qualitative pollutants. So the qualitative pollutants means they are actually not present in the atmosphere, but if they are added due to activities of human beings, And here we can take the example of insecticides and pesticides. The examples are insecticides and pesticides. Pesticides like DDT, then you can take the BSC, or which we call as gamaxin. So these are usually not present, but if they are added by human beings to the atmosphere, then they become pollutant. So this is the second type. Now come to the third category. The third category is according to natural disposal. And according to this natural disposal, again there are two types. There may be biodegradable pollutant, or the second is non-biodegradable. Non-biodegradable pollutants. So, according to their natural disposal, this one is biodegradable. There are certain substances in the nature, or even if you add it in the atmosphere, they will automatically be degraded due to action of different microorganisms, or they can be degraded by different waste treatment plants. So common examples of this biodegradable, these are usually the garbage, then livestock waste, and also we can take that of the different other things like sewage. So whether it is the market garbage or livestock waste or sewage, all these are degradable due to the action of the microbes. So either automatically they will be degraded, or we can treat them in the treatment plants, they are degradable. And because they are bioenergetic contents, they are bioenergetic nutrients and energy, they become the resource. They become a resource for manure, compost, and biogas. Now these are usually the organic waste, whether it is market garbage or livestock waste or sewage. These are organic substances, and they contain a lot of nutrients, and they also contain energy. So if they will be biodegraded, then they will become a resource as a manure. We can get compost, and also we are getting biogas. So that is the importance of this biodegradable ones. And another important thing is they take part in the biogeochemical recycles. They take part in quick participation in biogeochemical cycles. This is again a very important point. But coming to this non-biodegradable, there are certain substances that do not degrade. Even if for centuries they will not degrade, some will very slowly they may degrade, but a lot of them they do not degrade even if you keep them for centuries. So in this category, what are the different examples? Now in this category you can take the examples of this DDT, that is dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. Similarly, you can take that of the BSC, that is benzene hexachloride. Now besides this, also you will get empty cans, polythene bags, then waste plastics, and even the broken glasses. Now, usually these are the substances like DDT, BSC or gamaxin, that is the pesticides, then empty cans, the polythene bags, the waste plastics and broken glasses. They do not usually degrade even if you keep them for centuries. But one thing is possible, if some of these can be separated in a scientific manner, they can take part only in a recycling. That means suppose this waste plastic, polythene bags, the broken glasses, they can be recycled if they are properly separated, but not others. So this is the reason why they do not take part in the, that means some will take part in recycling, but not others. And because of this, they do not enter to or they do not take part in the biogeochemical cycles. No participation in biogeochemical cycles. So this is the basic difference between the biodegradable and non-degradable. Now there is a fourth type. The fourth type is known as anthropogenic. Now the anthropogenic pollutants are again of two types. The number one is point sources, and the number two is mobile sources. Now what is point sources? Point sources means it comes out from a particular point. As the example of the chimneys of industries. If you take the chimneys of industries, then thermal power stations, thermal power plants, then municipal sewers, So in these cases, they enter the environment. They enter the environment through a particular point, and they cause pollution. But in case of mobile sources, usually they come out through a very narrow outlet, and they can cause pollution in long distances. For example, the automobiles, then the trains, then the aircraft. Now usually the mobile sources, that means from automobiles, trains and aircraft, it comes through a very narrow jet, but the pollution can be caused in long distance because these are all running vehicles. So according to the anthropology, these are the two different types. That means the entire pollutants are classified into 8 different types depending upon their persistence or form, depending on their existence, quantitative, qualitative, or depending upon the natural disposal, it may be biodegradable or non-degradable. And according to the anthropogenic, then it is a point source and mobile source. From this you can get different types of questions from the for the examination. So now let us discuss questions. So one question you can take, which of the following is a secondary pollutant? So the first choice is sulfur dioxide, the second choice is carbon dioxide, third choice is the carbon monoxide, and the fourth choice is ozone. And this question was asked in NEET 2018. Now come to the second question. Which is not a non-biodegradable, non-biodegradable pollutant? And the first choice is DDT, the second choice is sewage, and the third choice is plastics, and the fourth choice heavy metals. And these questions are also asked in AIPMT. So from this is only the introduction about the environmental issues, what is pollution and what are the different pollutants. So this part is also very important from the examination point of view, and these are the type of questions which are coming. So I hope now you have a very clear understanding of the what are the different types of pollutants. So thank you very much. God bless you. Have a good day.